Reverend Steve, and we're talking about the apocalypse. And we're going to be in Revelation 17 today. I'm going to start from verse 1, and we're going to go into this, dive into this. I'm not going to go through the whole chapter, but we're going to dive into it, and we're going to glean from it what we see and what we see in the world. Like I said, the numbers are there. We see we have the G20, we have the G7, and now we have the 10 brics. You have all those numbers are here in Revelation. So what is going on? We have to. What's the chances of that? All those numbers matching up right now. The G20, G7, and the new BRICS that have just become 10 nations today, which is quite amazing, really. So we have it right, and they have power for 1 hour, and they give their authority. They give their authority to the beast. So what I'm trying to line up here is that they all hate the harlot, and we're going to discuss the harlot right now. And as I've said many times, I believe the United States is the harlot. She sits on the world at this moment. It could be another nation 100 years from now that could sit on the world and mimic what the United States is doing. Right now, with all the things that are going on in this world, there's only one harlot this could be, and that's us. Okay? So let's read it, get into it, and dissect it a little bit. Then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and talked with me, saying to come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot, judgment of the great harlot on many waters. So waters, like I said, in the first one, the beast comes out of the waters, meaning many nations, sitting on many nations, controlling many nations. She's sitting on the beast. She's controlling the beast. Who controls the world? There's only one nation that controls the world right now. Only one. Like I said, it could change. But right now, there's only one nation sitting on the world, controlling the world. Okay? With whom the kings of the earth committed fornication with. And the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Who is the king of porno, fornication in the world? It's not only meaning fornication in that, but it's also meaning in finances, money, just total depravity. That's what it's talking about. Besides fornication, the word itself, there's no other country that is basically imported that throughout the world, and the whole world watches it now because of that. Is drunk with it, is mesmerized by these screens that we sit on. They're mesmerized and looking at it every day. They say 40 to 50% of males, probably higher than that, are looking at it every day. So, who's drunk with the wine of her fornication? We are. You watch the borders of the United States. Who's coming here? Who's trying to get here? Why? They're drunk with the wine of her fornication. They can't wait to get here. They see all the movies, they see all the things, they see all the money. They see we live good here. They see it and they want it. They lust after it. They want it, and by them wanting it, it's bringing its collapse. And that's what it talks on later in this chapter. It talks about her collapse. That God puts it in their hearts to destroy her. He puts it in their hearts. The 10 kings, the BRICS, he puts it in their hearts to destroy her. And if you don't see that happening right now, they got it in their hearts to take down the dollar, and they're doing. Every day I read about it, they're planning on taking down the dollar. And once that happens in this country's collapsed. Well, our standard of living is going to go out the window, and that's why the United States is fighting tooth and nail in the world. That's why there's so many wars right now, because the reaction of what's really going on is that the beast, the 10 nations, and the beast is trying to throw her off because they want to take control. That's what we see. So he, so this is verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit in the wilderness. This is what always got me, because the wilderness is like someplace, they think it's Rome, they think it's this, and a lot of people think it's the Catholic Church. This is in Babylon. First it says Babylon, the harlot, all that. It's not a church. It's not a group of Christians or, supposed Christians or whatever. In the wilderness. There's no other wilderness besides this country up to 500 years ago. This was wilderness. Nobody lived here except for the native people. There's nobody here. All Europe didn't even know it existed. So it's the wilderness. There you got the wilderness. And I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So not the woman has 7 heads. The beast has 7 heads. So there's that 7 heads again. Who sits on the seven? Who sits on the G7? Who sits on her? We do. The United States controls that. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls and having in her hand a golden cup. This is what I always come back to. You know, God does things for certain reasons. We have somebody in New York Harbor with a golden cup, a golden flame standing with it up on a pedestal. There's, you know, not saying that it is, but it's there. It's there, and it shows us who she is. You know, and I've dove into that before about the United States, and in Genesis it talks about the Tower of Babel, and God separated and confused the language and spread them all over the earth because He knew what man would do. What has the United States done? We brought all those nations and all those people back under one nation, and look what has happened to this country. What has happened to us? We're filled with, it describes the harlot in 18, filled with demons. We bring all these demons from all these other countries. All these people come here, right? They don't know Jesus. They have their own way, their own religion, and now it's polluted, just like Babylon was polluted and collapsed. We have the same thing going on now. That is enough for this teaching today. We're going to get to more of this tomorrow. God bless. And I'm going to show a graph at the end of the brics. God bless.